Hey, everybody. How's it going? Good. So essentially, I am here with my three friends slash teammates in filmmaking. On the end, we have the wonderful Sophie Newton. We have the insane Louis Grant. And we have the brilliant Jamie versus the universe. So essentially what we're going to be doing is screening 3 films that we've made. I'm going to say a little bit about them and then I'm going to get some questions. My voice is really reverberant right now. I like it. So we're going to have to keep questions unfortunately to kind of like the front row-ish. So basically questions about filmmaking, questions about the films you've just seen, and we'll try our best to field them. And we can start with a film, I guess, with film number 1. It's PJ Tiny Planet Explorer.
I think I'm going to move to a different planet. Right now.
Yeah, no, I'm sure I'd like. Thank you very much. Cool. So, as you may or may not have seen that before, but that's a film that me and Jamie made together last year called PJ Tiny Planet Explorer, which we just made kind of just for the fun of it. Like, we just kind of thought one day, let's make a film. So we went and made that.
And it cost £2 to make.
Yes, it cost £2 to make, and that was spent on the pizza. So I think that might be our lowest budget film to date, essentially. So yeah, we made that, and then we kind of Jamie saw this competition online called the Virgin Media Shorts. So we decided to enter it into a film competition. We didn't really expect anything to happen with that, but then eventually it got to the point where we actually won because you guys, you voted for us to kind of go through to the finals, and we got to we got to screen it at the BFI, we got to screen it in cinemas all around the world. You might have seen it in picture houses and stuff. And yeah, it's great. So thank you to anyone that voted for that. That was a year ago now, but yeah. So are there any questions regarding that film in particular? Anything around the front? I can keep talking about it if you'd like. Yes, we have a question. Hello.
What would be on your ideal planet?
On my ideal planet? I'd like a planet just kind of, I think one to myself that's kind of full of noodles and full of like video games where I can just kind of relax all day. That sounds kind of lame, but yeah, just a nice relaxing planet full of noodles. So yeah. Any other questions at all? We got a couple by the front.
What gave you inspiration to make the kind of planets when you were editing? Like, have you seen that done before, like doing that before?
Yeah, no, the inspiration for that one was really cool actually, because I have an app on my phone called something like 360 Panorama, and essentially you can make these tiny planets by taking loads of pictures. And I kind of saw that and thought, oh, that'd be great if I could make that into a film. So I kind of just went through with a lot of trial and error and tried to work out how I could do that in editing. And I'd never seen it done before, like in video form. Like, I'd never seen a film made like that before. So I thought of a story that would accompany that, with tiny planets, and that's what we got. Yeah, so the inspiration just came from a little app, which, you know, was pretty cool. Any other questions about that film? Hello, by the front.
What software did you use to make it? What software do you prefer to edit?
The software was Adobe After Effects, and I edit in Final Cut Pro. So yeah, and it was a lot of kind of, in After Effects it was a lot of playing around. Like, there's no effects that does tiny planets, unfortunately. So it's a lot of like tinkering and stuff. So yeah, was there any other questions about that film? Yes? Hello? Just there? I see a hand.
So what did that film kind of mean to you when you won that competition, and after you made it, what did that
it was like, it was a really crazy feeling. Like, so like it was insane because like we won essentially because loads of you guys voted for the film to go into the competition. So that's like one of my kind of I think that's one of our biggest achievements today in terms of filmmaking. Like, it won an award, and like that's pretty mental. Like, I've got this big Perspex award now on my desk. You could clobber someone to death with it, literally. To death. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes. Down the front. Hello.
Hi. Yeah. How long did it take to edit together?
That was actually like a really quick one in terms of the whole production. So like we filmed in like 3 days, which then Jamie died of hay fever poisoning. We went to film on a field, so that was like 3 days of constant Jamie puffy eyes and crying. And then like 4 days of editing or something, 2 or 3, 4 days of editing. Not long at all really, really quick turnaround because it was such a small compact film. Cool, I think we should move on to the next film now. So could we play film number 2, which is a music video.
Bandits, I love this.
Sitting before you is not a man.
So that was a music video that we made called Color Bandits, as you just saw. So what that was a kind of a collaboration in terms of me and Jamie were proposed with making a music video. I made the music and Jamie did the camera work and cinematography, and we developed the idea together. And then we got Sophie and Louis involved in the costume and the props and just making it more believable, making like this complete different character, which is a color bandit. So that was like a pretty crazy shoot, but I guess I'll let you guys kind of ask some questions first, and then we've got a few down the front. First one you go to.
Hi. What inspired you to write this sort of poem or the lyrics?
So that was what happened was I first wrote a story about color bandits, so I kind of got in my head, so what is a color bandit? It's like this rogue who goes into different color zones and temperatures and he steals the color, but this time I wondered what would happen like if the color fights back. And so in this film the color's attacking the bandit and killing the bandit until he's like no longer like this bleak bandit just in black and white. So from there I kind of just, that's a weird one, I just kind of wrote the lyrics from there, like so I'm not really a musician, so that's just kind of almost like storytelling. Like I just wrote a story and made it rhyme. So yeah. Any other questions? Thank you, by the way.
Are they like your ideas, or is it kind of a group effort for videos?
It depends really. Like sometimes it's like a single thing. Like I might have an idea and say, oh, we should make something about me going into space and doing this crazy thing. Or sometimes one of these guys will have an idea and we'll develop it together. A lot of the time we do a lot of the writing together, so we'll think of an idea and kind of develop it all as a team. But yeah, thank you. Any other questions?
Do you ever get nervous when like freaking out a video that you've worked really hard on?
Get nervous about what, sorry?
Releasing a video that you've worked
kind of, but you kind of have to just go with it and post it. Like, so, yeah, like, I mean, I guess you could be nervous about it, but then you've just got to think, well, I've worked so hard on it, I just want people to see it right now. If anything, sometimes I get a bit impatient and just want to post it before it's even done. Thank you.
How long does it take you to make all the props and write the script for that video?
Well, so the script, that was like 2 days. Okay, there's a little bit of backstory behind that. So we only had a week to make it. We were given like a task, like so we would come to like by Google, who said, we're doing a little music video competition, do you want to make a music video? So we had a week to make something. So the writing only took a couple of days because we had to get on and shoot like pretty soon after that. But props wise,
Yeah, I mean, as for like, is this on? Yeah.
As far as like props and so on were concerned, like the main thing obviously was the costume, because a large amount of it was just the fact that we had just a white background. So the costume, it was just kind of basically having the challenge of making a costume interesting when the only colours we could use was black and white. So we kind of, Sophie came up with the idea of like layering it up. So you have obviously the waistcoat, and then you have sort of other things like tied round underneath. And then we use kind of like grey paint to just kind of texture that down. So it's just trying to get this kind of look of the like kind of Wild West bandit steampunk kind of effect without actually using colour, which was actually really fun. We had a lot of fun doing that.
It took we were only given a day to basically make all the costumes and paint everything and destroy everything. So that was a quick shoot. That was fast.
We wouldn't recommend working in a day, but if it has to be done, absolutely has to. You'll find a way to do it. That's kind of the way we work.
And it can actually be good because it encourages you to really sort of hone down your ideas and just go with the bare essentials when you have a limited amount of time to make. So sometimes it can actually be helpful.
Yeah. Well, we hope it was helpful. I mean, we hope that was a good film. So any other questions about that one?
Hey.
Hey.
In terms of this film and other films in general, what's your favourite part? The pre-production, the production, or the post-production?
Oh, that's so difficult. Me personally, I really like the post-production because so the pre-production is great and the actual production itself is great and sometimes very stressful. But the post-production is when you see it actually coming together. You're cutting the shots together and you're seeing it actually come through. I mean, I don't know about you guys. What do you prefer?
I don't know. It depends. It depends how much time you have.
Yeah.
Like I personally, I like the production because it's all hectic and crazy and it's quite fun.
I mean, obviously for us, because we do the sort of production design side of it, that can be cool. Actually, kind of finally getting the chance to sort of we planned all this stuff and getting our teeth into it can be really cool. But then obviously actually seeing it in the edit is when you know what it's going to look like when it goes out on YouTube. So that's cool as well.
Yeah. Jamie, do you have a preference?
I like all of it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Cool. Any other questions? Hello.
Does this music video symbolise anything to you personally?
I think that's probably my answer. No, I mean nothing personally. Like it's another story that I've written, and like I just love writing stories. So like it's just another cool story and a cool character, and a really cool project to work on.
It's a Wild West theme though.
Yeah.
You do love Wild West.
Yeah, like I like Wild West stuff. I hardly ever get a chance to make it, so it was really nice to try something that was a little bit kind of like this bandit kind of look.
The Western style.
First time you've ever done something quite like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's my first time we've ever tried that. Okay, shall we go screen one more film, take a few questions about that, and then we've got like 15 minutes, so we'll just take questions till the end. So yeah, should we screen the film? This one's a film called Lullaby Cubed. Okay, thank you. Okay, so that was a little film called Lullaby Cubed, which is a sequel to a video we made a year ago or so called Lullaby Cube. Basically, the idea behind that was I wanted to make something that was just all over the place. A video like about dreams where you're not too sure when I'm dreaming and like when I'm awake. So we're just trying to make something that's really kind of dreamlike. We'll just go straight to questions rather than me talking about it because I'm sure there might be some stuff that people want to know.
Have you ever had a lucid dream?
A lucid dream? I haven't personally. I've had like... Wait, is a lucid dream when you know you're dreaming? Yeah, no, I've had lucid dreams before. I've never been able to like self-induce them because I know you can actually have them. I know Jamie has had like a lot of sleep paralysis, which is always like terrifying. But yeah, I've had lucid dreams before. I don't really remember them now, but yeah, thank you.
What made you decide to carry on the Lullaby Cube series?
I just liked it so much. Like, we made a film called Lullaby Cube and I just love it. I love the idea of having this cube that if you're having trouble sleeping, you put fantastic objects inside it, you crank it up and it releases like a nice kind of beautiful smell that helps you go to sleep. And so I thought in a sequel, rather than being it, because in the first film, like I make the cube and it puts me to sleep, which is great. But we needed another story, so I wanted to make a film where I could finally sleep, but there was more things bugging me. So just more stuff on the subject of sleep, really. So, thank you. Any other questions? Hello.
Hello. This is kind of to do with all of the films you make.
Sure.
When you write a script, do you kind of have an idea of what the film's going to look like while you're writing it?
It depends. Like, this is such a bad answer, but it really depends on like what the film is. Like sometimes, like I don't know, like because we write stuff together, but like your guys like are more the visual side of it. Like,
I mean, it's sometimes you'll come to us, I suppose, and say like you know exactly what you want the film to look like, and you've got this kind of really clear image. And then sometimes it's more kind of after we've discussed things for a while that we sort of hash out the actual visuals of it after that. I mean,
it's not always instant, but sometimes I'll have at least a small idea. But obviously, sometimes I think too big and need to scale it down a bit. But that's a very good thing to do. Like, there's nothing wrong with being super ambitious. Thank you. Any other questions? Lots of other questions.
Do your videos come from dreams that you've had?
Some of them, yeah. Like, sometimes I'll have a crazy dream and just think I need to make a video about that. So yeah, essentially, dreams. Thank you. Any other questions?
Who would be your dream collaboration?
My dream collaboration? Sleeping Panda, I'd say. It'd be great. Thank you.
When you're actually shooting a video, what do you find you spend the most time on, like the lighting or the shots or whatever?
What takes the most time? What do you guys think? What takes the most time on a shoot?
It depends on how big the project is. Like, if it's I don't know. It's it could be, like we did that. I don't know if you see was it Party Gold? I can't remember. Party Nightmare, yeah, Party Nightmare. And that was like done in a night and thought in a day and all done in one day. But then this one it was shot in 2 days. But
a lot of the time as well, it's the thing you least expect to take ages will be the thing that takes forever. So you set out to make something and you think okay, we've got so much time to do it, but then there'll often be like that one thing that takes ages. So it's always good to sort of leave more time than you expect when making stuff.
Definitely. Cool, thank you. Any other questions? We got like 5 minutes, so film questions.
Your films are very stylized and they have a specific style to them. Is that something that you picked up from other people, or is that something that's always been?
It's definitely not always been that way. Like any style progresses and changes, but it's definitely working with other people that definitely changes that, because like I've always had ideas, but before I'd always worked by myself, like when I started making videos like 5-6 years ago. But then when I went to university and met these guys, I had these ideas of like coming on, they were happening, they were like, so I was able to change my style with what I wanted to actually do. And obviously they've all got their ideas as well, which influence the video a lot as well. So yeah, thank you. We got lots of hands.
How much footage do you have before you like cut down a film? Is it
Lots. Not always hours, but like if it's like a 10-second shot, you can expect to have like maybe 5 to 10 minutes. If it's maybe longer, like I don't know. I mean, when we did Color Bandits, like because it was shot on a super slow motion camera, every 15 seconds in real time, the camera made that like a minute or 2 minutes or something. So like that, we had like 2 hours of footage there or something crazy like that. So yeah, lots of footage basically, loads. Thank you. Any other questions?
You made a comment a while ago about whether people watching the videos minded if you worked with some like bigger companies because you thought they might think you were selling out. Do you have a particular moral or ideal in mind when you're making videos that made you think people might think that of you?
So when it comes to working with companies, I think it's a great thing that a company can like ask or commission someone to work for them. I like to, if I ever get commissioned to make a project, I make the most out of it. We all do. We sit down and we think, how can we literally make how can we make the best thing possible? How can we make something that we couldn't make had we not been commissioned? And I think it's really important to just like do that. Yeah, I mean, you guys have worked on my commission stuff loads, so what about you? Like,
It's about the creative freedom, really. Like, as long as you've got the creative freedom, then you're sort of, it's fine, because you're still making something you'd essentially be making anyway, except you're sort of getting the incentive to possibly make it bigger. As long as you're not sacrificing the creative freedom, then it's...
Yeah, no, definitely. That's another thing. I would like never ever do something that I wouldn't be okay with, like, because it's my creative, like, it's my channel that I've made like over the past few years, so I wouldn't like sacrifice that for money ever.
But we like to push ourselves as well, so like we would only really do it if it involves some creativity. Because if not, then there'll be no need.
Yeah, if there's room for us to be super creative, then that's always good. And also, I think it's also a good thing because, like, I know a lot of people are precious over kind of what YouTubers they enjoy post and stuff. But for me personally, I want this to be my job for as long as I can make it. And you know, if I can make amazing stuff without selling out, then that's perfect. So yeah. Any other questions? Have we got time for a few more questions? I think we've got like 1 minute. Last question. Make it a good one.
Oh, it's not a very good one.
It's okay.
Do your videos always turn out to be exactly how you first imagined them?
Never. No. Like they always turn out way better. Like, and I would make sure they turn out way better. I always have like a cool idea in my head, but it always adapts and it always changes. It'll always change. You'll never get exactly what you planned ever, and nothing in film will ever go according to plan. That's the. Did I just hear that? Or was okay? So yeah, essentially the final project is always like different, but you should be happy with that. You should embrace it and just I think that's probably all we've got time for. I'm guessing. If someone gives me a heads up, yeah, no, yes, okay. So thank you guys so much for coming and asking questions and watching our films. Thank you. YouTube.com/KickthePJ. You can watch those films without it being so brah. Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Bye for now.